Back at Braves camp for 680 The Fan's continuing coverage of Spring Training 2019. Happy Monday to you. Kevin McAlpin with The Fan and Braves Radio Network coming to you from Lake Buena Vista, Florida. It is another picture-perfect day for baseball here in sunny Central Florida. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, sunny skies, and the Braves are getting set to take on the Houston Astros here at Disney World in Grapefruit League play. It's a 1 o'clock first pitch. Ben Ingram, Don Sutton will have the call of that one, and it's hard to believe we are almost at the midway point of spring training here already. About 3.5 weeks to go before the Braves will officially lift the lid on the 2019 season up in Philadelphia. But first things first, a lot of uncertainty to get to in the Braves pitching staff, mainly in the Braves starting rotation, and we'll get to all that in just a couple of moments. Again, we will see Julio Teheran make his Grapefruit League debut here today against Wade Miley at 1 o'clock. Braves are coming off a walk-off win yesterday, a game they scored 6 runs against the Marlins, 5 of them coming off the home run ball. A couple of long balls from Adam Duvall. We also saw a walk-off homer from Andres Blanco, a 2-run homer from Tyler Flowers, and Alex Jackson, the Braves' young catcher, hit a home run here yesterday. So 6 runs, 5 of which coming off the home run ball. Good to see Adam Duvall showing that power stroke and the reason the Braves wanted to bring him in here. And of course, this is a very important stretch for Adam Duvall in camp on a non-guaranteed contract. So a lot to prove for him here this spring. Entered play yesterday, 0 for 10. He goes deep twice yesterday. And talking to Kevin Seitzer and some other folks who have been watching Adam Duvall in his cage work, they really like what they've seen. Remember, this is a guy that hit 30-plus homers back-to-back seasons for the Reds just a couple of years ago. And, of course, the Braves are looking for a guy that can give him some power off the bench and that fourth outfield option. And the Braves are looking for big things from Adam Duvall. So good to see him hit a couple of homers in yesterday's game. Also, as we mentioned throughout the course of these daily rundowns, it feels like every day there's an injury to talk about. Well, the good news was yesterday, no injury news, no injury updates to get to. Tyler Flowers was hit on his wrist by a pitch in his second plate appearance of the game. He did come right out of the game, but that was not because of an injury. He was coming out anyway there in, I believe it was the 4th inning. So Tyler got a couple of plate appearances, hit that 2-run homer. He showed me after the game it was a little bit red, but he said nothing more than taking a foul tip or a ball that scoops off the dirt and hits him on the wrist. So he was fine yesterday. Let's get to some of those injury news and notes that we talked about over the course of the weekend. Of course, you recall that A.J. Minter was involved in a minor little fender bender last Wednesday evening. That's why they took him out of that game on Friday, because the shoulder strap, his shoulder actually took the brunt of the force of that little minor fender bender. I talked to AJ just a short time ago here this morning. He says he plans on playing catch tomorrow. And for relievers who only need 2 to 3 to 4 appearances in spring training, he says there is more than enough time for him to be ready. So he is not concerned about this having any effect on his availability for opening day. So again, he'll play catch tomorrow and progress from there and hopefully be back on the mound in just a couple of more days. And again, he told me he feels a lot better already. So good news on A.J. Minter. Same can be said about Dansby Swanson. Of course, over the weekend we talked to Dansby after he was scratched from Friday's lineup with that soreness in his wrist, and he said he feels a lot better. And the Braves are hoping maybe as early as tomorrow we could see Dansby Swanson make his 2019 Grapefruit League debut. Braves are taking on the Yankees over in Tampa tomorrow afternoon, so we'll see what that lineup looks like tomorrow morning. Also had a chance to visit with Mike Soroka today. He is progressing very nicely. You'll recall he was shut down with some soreness in his shoulder after lifting, but he's progressed to the point where he's out there throwing long toss, and he's feeling really good about where he is right now. Unfortunate timing for Mike Soroka to have this shoulder soreness as he was in camp competing for a spot in the Braves rotation, but I think we will see him at some point mid to late April. So again, he is feeling a lot better, progressing well. Good news on Mike Soroka. Same thing can be said about Kevin Gausman, who is dealing with a little bit of shoulder discomfort. He's actually on the backfield right now throwing a live BP. So that is pretty much the final step before you see guys get into games. And of course, if he's able to get through that pain-free, I think the Braves could turn him loose in a handful of days here. We'll see him in game action sooner rather than later. Another guy who told me he's not worried about his availability for the first time through the Braves starting rotation to start the 2019 season in that opening series up in Philadelphia. So a sigh of relief on a lot of injury fronts here for the Braves today. And again, we'll see Julio Teheran make his Grapefruit League debut today. We all came to a camp expecting to see Mike Folty be on the mound on opening day, but I just don't know that he's going to have enough time to progress on all the steps that he needs to. He still is not going out there and throwing as of yet. He was seen by team physician Dr. Laurie over the weekend, but when asked to comment yesterday, he did not comment on the status of his elbow. So day to day, we'll hopefully get a better idea of where Mike Foltynewicz is in the coming days. So all that being said, I'm going to say this. I think my new bold prediction is for opening day. I think we will see Julio Teheran make his 6th consecutive opening day start. Things just seem to be lining up for him now in spring training. And again, with all of the uncertainties of the Braves rotation, that stretch of 5 consecutive opening days, it would not surprise me in the least now if we see that go to 6, because again, the Braves, I don't think Newcomb would get the start. I can't see Touki Toussaint going out there on opening day. And again, Kevin Gausman, who's been slow with some shoulder soreness, I don't think he would be the guy either. So process of elimination, that's my next bold prediction. We will see Julio Teheran on the mound March 28th in Philadelphia. So now you are caught up on all the injury news and updates and prognosis on a lot of different guys. Hopefully we will have some better news on these guys even in the next day or two, and we'll cross our fingers that we do get Dansby Swanson and Josh Donaldson in the Braves lineup here in the next couple of days. And again, as I mentioned on 680 The Fan this morning, everyone I've talked to has told me there is no injury as far as Josh Donaldson's concerned. The Braves training staff just taking it slow here in spring, given a season where he had not only the calf but the shoulder injury as well. Again, everyone I've talked to has said no injury on Josh Donaldson. You got all that? I hope so. That is the latest here from Brave Spring Training. Again, I'm Kevin McAlpin. We do this every single day here from Disney World, from all across the Grapefruit League here as well. So stay with us. 680 The Fan's coverage continues right here on 680thefan.com, and of course our social media outlets as well. Make sure you're following us on 680 The Fan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.